Welcome back to Movie Villa. Here we dig into the movie's cream like vanilla. Meg 2, the Trenches trailer promises action heroism from Jason Statham, Wu Jing, dinosaurs, a giant squid, and not one, not two, but three giant sharks. After the success of 2018's The Meg, everything about Meg 2, the Trenches trailer implies that the sequel will be even bigger and wilder than its franchise predecessor. The Meg proved just how far shark movies have come since director Steven Spielberg's seminal 1975 blockbuster Jaws. While there have been many shark movies in the 43 years between Jaws and The Meg's adaptation of Steve Alten's novel still managed to provide what might be the biggest shark in cinematic history. Where the shark scene in Jaws was around 25 feet long, the titular prehistoric monster seen in The Meg was 75 feet long. Of course, bigger doesn't always mean better for blockbusters. The Meg wasn't a perfect shark movie, although the adaptation was good enough to scare up over $500 million worldwide. As a result, Meg 2, The Trench now has a chance to double down and fulfill all of the promises that The Meg didn't have the time or money to pull off. Meg 2, The Trench may go back in time. The Trenches trailer opens with a segment set 65 million years ago. The scene sees a small dinosaur eat a mosquito, only for the dinosaur to then be eaten by another, bigger dinosaur. This dinosaur is then eaten by a mighty T-Rex before the Meg chomps down on the T-Rex. This provides the eponymous monster with a memorable debut in Meg 2 trailer, but it is not clear whether this sequence will appear in the sequel. Viewers hoping to see Jurassic Park's T-Rex off against the Meg might be let down if this sequence was created solely for the trailer. Jason Statham's Jonas Taylor is back in Meg 2. Despite barely surviving the original movie, Jason Statham's Jonas Taylor returns in Meg 2. He will play a pretty major role in the blockbuster sequel, judging by the trailer, which features him prominently. Not only does Taylor get a few one-liners in the 3-minute promo, but he also surfs a massive tidal wave on a jet ski en route to stabbing one of the movie's many Megs with a harpoon. The descriptor, many Megs, meanwhile, brings to light the next surprise from Meg 2. Meg 2 features more than one Meg. The ending of The Meg implied that another megalodon could have escaped containment before the climax. Meg 2 clarifies exactly how many Megs are free from the trench and on their way to chow down on some unfortunate beachgoers. There are 3 escaped Megs in Meg 2, although it is very possible that there will be more in the movie itself. After all, just because the characters know that 3 megalodons have escaped doesn't mean that this is necessarily the extent of the problem. Meg 2 includes another giant squid. One memorable scene early in The Meg saw a research team attacked by a giant squid. This colossal beast seemed like a major threat until it was dispatched by the even bigger Meg, offering a killer introduction to the movie's real villain. From the looks of Meg 2, the sequel will repeat this approach with another research team arriving at the bottom of the trench and encountering another giant squid. This time, the squid does kill at least one team member before its demise. The trench releases other prehistoric monsters. While the megalodon itself is a prehistoric giant shark, The Meg isn't necessarily a conventional dinosaur movie. Unlike the Jurassic Park world franchises, The Meg didn't envision a world wherein dinosaurs could coexist at the same time as humans. That may change with Meg 2. Not only does a giant squid appear alongside 3 Megs in the trailer, but there are also some monstrous amphibians that attack on land. These monsters become a T-Rex snack at the start of the promo, but they pose a bigger threat to humans later in Meg 2. Meg 2's trailer looks like a PG-13 sequel. The Trenches director Ben Wheatley is best known for darker projects. The sequel looks set to be a PG-13 thrill ride like its predecessor. The Trenches trailer features little in the way of gore and, where there is bloody violence, it is animal-on-animal fights like the Meg chomping a T-Rex. There is no swearing and the tone seems similar to the original movie's winking, self-aware comedy adventure style, meaning the sequel will keep the Meg's risky PG-13 rating. The Trenches shark is bigger than ever. While the trailer doesn't offer any specific comparisons, it is pretty clear that Meg 2's Megs are even bigger than the original movie's massive monstrosity. One character remarks that a passing Meg is the biggest shark they've ever seen. Taylor sardonically notes that this means it is the biggest shark anyone has ever seen. The Trenches trailer proves him right with a few good looks at the villain. Even without any measurements, it is already obvious that these Megs are even bigger than before. The Trench kills off Skylar Samuels. While fans of Scream Queens might have been excited to see series star Skylar Samuels among the cast of Meg 2, the trailer shuts down this hype pretty quickly. There is no way her character survives the attack seen in Meg 2 trailer, wherein she knocks on the glass wall of a tank and boasts that it is completely Meg-proof. What follows could have been the funniest shark movie punchline since Samuel L. Jackson's Deep Blue Sea demise if it wasn't given away by Meg 2. Wu Jing's Meg 2 character is a hero. When Chinese box office superstar Wu Jing was added to the cast of Meg 2, it was not clear who he would be playing. The character's name has not yet been revealed, but his heroics in Meg 2, the Trenches trailer imply that Wu Jing will play a heroic, rather than a villainous. This will allow the sequel to make the most of the actor's martial arts prowess, which could rival Statham's when it comes to the Trenches action sequences. None of the Meg's human villains return. Although Rainn Wilson's Jack Morris was a comical presence in the Meg, few viewers mourned the villain when he was inevitably killed at the movie's ending. His team of mercenaries was eaten by the titular shark, as was Morris, and there is no indication that any of them survived in Meg 2. Interestingly, this means that Meg 2, The Trench might be a rare killer shark movie with no human villains since there is no obvious equivalent of Morris seen in the promo. Thank you for watching. Comment down your thoughts about Meg 2 and tell us how excited are you for Meg 2. And also hit the thumbs up button on your way out and keep supporting us by smashing the subscribe button.